Hello, welcome or welcome back to your favorite podcast, your favorite thing to do while you wash your dishes or whatever it may be. It is the Barefaced and Bonnets podcast. Now, I'm your girl, Kay Nichelle.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Asia Simone.
Well, good day. I am the A. Renee.
Well,
Good
good
day.
day.
Good day, sir. Sorry, that is a Willy Wonka reference. Before we get started, I want y'all to right now go ahead, hit the button, like this video, go ahead, hit that notification bell so that you know when we have uploaded. Like, don't get left in the dust. Come on, barefaced and bonnets, we here, so you need to be here with us.
Come
Um,
on.
we have time and time again told y'all that we are Kansas City Chiefs fans.
All
We
day.
made it clear. Y'all seen us in jerseys and red lips. Y'all have
Absolutely.
seen us talking mess on our socials. We ride hard for the Kansas City Chiefs. And we could not look, she got on Chiefs earrings. I got red
My
nails. Um she
hair
we
red ish.
her her hair reddish. Like it's always gonna be some type of red. But we could not start this episode without taking a moment. So, as you all know, on Valentine's Day, there was the Kansas City Chiefs parade in celebration of our back to back Super Bowl championship win. And unfortunately, things went left. And so we wanted to take a moment and stop and pause to send love and light to the 39 people who have been injured in that situation. But we also want to stop and send love and prayers to Lisa Lopez Galvan, who was a local DJ from Shawnee, Kansas, who lost her life at the parade. And we just want
Yeah.
to take a moment in honor of her. So, wherever you are, do me a favor. Except if you're driving, keep with the flow of traffic. We know we want everybody to be safe. But if you're in your homes and you're listening, and if you can just stop for a moment with us, just take a moment and remember her life and send love and light to her family. All right. So we are praying with our city, Kansas City Strong.
Absolutely.
We are supporting our people because when one hurt, we all hurt. This is
Mm-hmm.
a reminder that it ain't never that serious. Everybody deserves the right to make it home. And so, y'all, KC, we strong. We got this. Let's come together as a city and let's make sure we take care of one another. So,
Absolutely.
but I just wanted to stop. We at Bareface and Bonnets are sending prayers to her family and into the city. So
Yeah.
now we are not we gonna move on because we don't want to make this episode sad. And it's February, and so if we gonna talk February, we talked love, but let's get into some Black excellence, y'all. I'm so
Mhm.
Black
excited
History
to
Month.
talk about the fact that it
Yes.
is Black History Month. And so, first and foremost, how y'all feeling? Black girl magic all on the line. How it
Feeling black
goes?
and
Absolutely.
proud.
Feeling
Yeah.
black and proud. I am super, there's just a blessing to be able and people don't get it. Now, hear me clearly. There are struggles that come with being a black woman in today's society. There are struggles with being a
Boy,
woman in today's society. We can talk about that in Women's History Month. But there are struggles, but there's also a camaraderie that comes with being able to walk down the street and somebody give me the head nod and I give it back. And it's the I see you without me ever opening my mouth. And
you
so
know how
to
it
the
goes.
good sir and the good ma'ams that go ahead and give a little head nod. We see you. We see you. We
Mm-hmm.
love you too. It
Mm-hmm.
feels so good. And I think it's a beautiful thing when we as a people we have endured so much. And right now we are in a society that is trying to erase the greatness of our history.
Mm.
Because if one more school district try to send home a
A
note
black child.
It has no, not that one, because they do a lot.
A
If your
lot.
school district sends home a note to ask parents if it's okay if a black person read a book to a kid, y'all need to get about the business of education because y'all playing games.
Mm.
Child.
So in this society where they are trying to erase all of the greatness that we have done, I want to just stop and say, y'all, we ain't done yet. If you had thought we had
Ain't
been
done
done,
no time soon.
we not done
At
yet.
all.
And so,
Mm-mm.
first and foremost, I just want to kick us off with, in case you did not know, Carter G. Woodson is the father of
Founder.
Black He's the father of Black History
Yeah.
Month. And
Guava.
so, father, he was born December 19th, 1875, in New Canton, Virginia, passed in on April 3rd, 1950, in Shaw, Washington, D.C. He was one of the first African Americans to graduate from the Harvard
Mm-hmm.
University. And so that's where he got his PhD. He was also a graduate of the University of Chicago and Berea College. This man was a dean at Howard University, um, under the yes, he was a dean at Howard University, academic dean of West Virginia Collegiate Institute, which is now West Virginia State University. And so that is the person, if you want to know how we even got here, it started. It started with Carter G.
Mhm.
Woodson. And so that is a good jumping place if you're looking to learn some more
Yeah.
Black history facts and figure it out for yourself, my lad. Go ahead and look up Carter G. Woodson. Asia
Real
Simone, what you
quick.
got for the people?
Yes. I'm glad that you brought that up because what a lot of people don't know is that Black History Month has not always been Black History Month. Initially, it was
No,
only a
ma'am.
week.
It
It
was a
was
week.
literally some days, and that's all we got. And it wasn't until I want to say 76 that it became a month. So if you think about that, it's only been an actual nationally recognized thing for 48 years. Um, my parents are older than that. My aunties are older than that. My grandparents are significantly older than
Something,
that. So
something.
just having that recognition, I mean, it. I got some cousins that are older than that. They're not on this line, but I got some cousins that are older than that. So just to
Because
know
it
that it
wasn't me. Thank you. Thank you for
wasn't
making
you.
sure they needed
Yes,
to know. We got a lot of
yes.
cousins. There's a lot of us. And she was
There's
not talking
a
about
whole
me.
tribe of us. But just to know that like it's only been a month, a full nationally recognized thing for less than 50 years. And sometimes, you get on this here internet that was gifted to us and you see people have discourse about why we get a whole month.
And we got the shortest month of the year.
Sometimes we don't even get 29 days. We only get 29 days every 4 years. That's crazy.
Crazy. And actually, when you Google it, it says it goes from February 1st to March 1st. So somebody in the world is trying to give us our 30 days, but that's not
It
what
just
y'all
ain't
need to do.
happening.
Y'all not
It just
doing
ain't
it. I need
happening.
y'all to get on. I need my
I'm
30
feeling real
days.
cheated. Run me
I
my
need my
extra
30s.
days.
I
You
need
to
my
just
extra
push it.
days.
Well, you
I don't
say we
care.
feel cheated. We've been cheated a lot in this life.
Yeah.
And we
You know,
have.
I love the
Yeah.
fact that you highlighted like it's not as old as we think it is. I want to highlight another story that's not as old as we think it is, and that's the story of Ruby Bridges. Did y'all
That one.
know that? So she was the first African American child to attend the formerly whites only William Frantz Elementary School in Louisiana during the New Orleans school desegregation crisis. Y'all, she went there on November 14th, 1960.
How about
Again,
that?
I got aunties and uncles older than that. I got
You got
grandparents older than that. I
We
got
definitely
cousins
do.
older than that.
We do. And
But
so
can
when
you
you
imagine what she endured
No,
during
no,
that time?
I truly
you know,
cannot.
I
Can you
actually,
imagine?
interestingly enough, I just heard her speaking about it. Like, you know, TikTok and Instagram, they give you all these little reels and clicks that you can, and so it's like short bursts of information that comes at you. She was not aware because her parents did not make her aware of the gravity of the situation,
Mm.
about her life being in
I
danger.
mean, she was a
They literally
child.
just
My
sent her to
Lord.
school, and she wasn't bothered by the noise of it. I can't remember what she said that it felt like to her, but it was like, today's Monday. Like, she wasn't
Wow.
stressed about it. And as a parent, I don't know if I would have signed my daughters up for that,
Yeah.
because
That's a lot.
there was nothing
Yes,
her
ma'am.
parents could do to actually protect her. And you have left these armed guards who God knows what is going through their heads
Mm-hmm.
about how they're actually going to protect your little black child, while it's just so it's a ugh. So I
God is
just want,
faithful.
God is
It
faithful.
is.
Ruby Bridges is literally 69 years old. And so when we think about the importance of it, I work a lot of times in the DEI space, and some of the questions we get is, "Are we done with this yet?" Wh- And
We're just getting started.
I need people to understand that while it may feel like too much for you, when we really look at the history of this country, this ain't enough.
Mm-mm.
At all.
Which I,
Barely
I'm
touching the
not gonna,
surface.
I ain't gonna soapbox it, cause
No,
I
because we
will,
could do that,
but
but we're not gonna
we
do that.
can, but we're not going to. What else y'all got? What are some Black history people, facts, figures, things that you've heard that you're like, whoa.
Oh,
And
I got
oh,
one.
I'm gonna just add this real quick because it bounces off of
Okay.
the month thing. We are not the only country that celebrates Black History Month. There are a couple other countries that celebrate it in the month of February, but actually it's celebrated in October in the UK, Ireland, and the Netherlands. And I had
That's a
no
little
idea that
cool fact.
anybody else celebrated Black History Month. I had no idea.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
that's
So
when we should go
That was
visit.
kind of cool that you gave that
right.
because during the Super Bowl, some of those same countries you called out are some of the same countries that cheer on the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's true.
That's very true.
That's true.
That was
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, hey Renee, what you got for the people?
Well, I am a very proud daughter. My
Mm-hmm.
mom marched in the 60s
Why she say that
for,
like she only belong to her? She rude.
I was
Like
going
she
to
the only
say,
one.
my mom,
My
you all's
sunshine,
grandmother,
Asia's granny.
you all's grandmother, um, Robert and Brenda's mom, and the rest of the children's grandmother and great granny marched for our rights to vote, to go get jobs, for equal pay. I don't know that equal pay thing has hit yet, but we've come close.
Have we?
But I said we've come
We
close.
we
We better
ain't. We
than
can
where
talk.
we were, right?
Yeah, we can still talk about the statistics, but we ain't
But
got to pull them up. We can.
in our hometown of Natchez, Mississippi, there is an absolutely gorgeous. Um, I don't even want to call it a plaque because it is huge. It
It's
is
like a monument
gorgeous.
almost.
It's a monument, thank you. And
Okay.
it says, proud to take a stand. And it says, honoring the Natchez citizens who took a stand for racial justice. May their courage inspire future citizens to stand united against injustice everywhere. And on that monument is Helen Louise Session, which is my mom, Robert and Brenda's mom, and you all's grandmother. Helen S. Blanton, Helen Louise Session Blanton, who is a retired educator, she took that stand. She marched, and in her marching, she went to prison. She went to Parchman Prison, and she talks about that, how they were put in a prison cell. They were four to a cell, and she said they took the mattresses off the beds. And so four people to a cell, one bathroom, and they were given horrible soup. And they were expected to eat it, one bathroom. And she said you could just see the grease floating on top of it. And so, not a very
Mm.
good uh, atmosphere to be in, right, with other people, but just to fight for our rights, to have equal pay, equal justice like everybody else. And so I tell people, we read in the history books about Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks, but we are honored and we are blessed and we are grateful to have a Helen Louise Session Blanton who fought for
Absolutely.
our rights as well. And so as we stand in honor of Black excellence, as my shirt says, we have a Helen Louise Session Blanton. And
Yes, we do.
so
Yes, we do.
our
Yes, we do.
mother, our
Yes.
loved one. And so
Give it
that's who
up.
I
Give it
wanted to
up.
talk about
Sunshine.
on today.
Woo,
So
woo, woo,
yay for
Yes.
woo,
that.
woo, woo, woo.
Yeah,
I love that because she is she is an unsung hero, but she represents for me so many names that will go unknown
Unknown.
oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
because every family, if you just ask, has a Helen Louise Session
absolutely.
Blanton who marched, who fought, bled, some of them died so that we
Mm-hmm.
can stand. And so when people say, I'm not my ancestors,
Mm-hmm.
The
you know,
slap in the face.
as if as if we could ever. I don't think I'm strong enough. I'm
Mm-hmm.
their wildest dream.
That's
I
it.
am what they march for. And so we owe it to them to show up better than we ever have. And so
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
shout out to the ancestors who took a stand from the ancestors who took a stand on the boats all the way over to the
Mm-hmm.
Underground Railroad, to the Jim Crow era, the civil rights era, and those who are still continuing the fight
I
because the
would
fight
say
is
all
not
of the
done.
protests that were going on in
Yeah,
2020, the ones that are still going on to this
yes,
day,
absolutely.
shout out to the people that are still fighting that haven't stopped fighting.
Yeah,
that's
so
it.
Yeah.
shout out to y'all. Agent Simone, what you
I was gonna
got for
say,
the people?
I have another one. So y'all know in this family, we love to eat, we love to cook, we love the foods. Okay, so if you have not seen, there is a Netflix series called High on the Hog. Now, this came out
Yes.
a few years ago, but it is such a good watch. It's so educational. It'll make you super hungry while you're watching it. And it is a young man. I do forget his name, so apologies in advance. But he goes to these different places and he learns about the different cultural foods that are known in the Black community, predominantly the Southern Black community. And
Okay.
he gets not only recipes and learns about the different foods, but he gets how this became a staple in the Black community. You learn about why rice is so important, the difference between yams and sweet potatoes. You learn about why, some Southerners still eat chitlins. Now, I don't and won't
Me
and have not
either.
ever,
Never, ever, ever.
but some do. And there's a historical significance on why we eat the food we eat. I know me, I lived in Houston for years and I'm a crawfish girly. I'm a seafood girly, period. But that shellfish, it calls me. But there was a time period where shellfish, they're bottom feeders and they were seen as bottom feeder food. And the innate gift that we have as a Black folk, and because I'm a Black woman, I'm gonna just have to toot our horn real quick. We have the ability to take the least and make it the most, and that is what we tend to do with our food. And so things like your lobster and your crab and your crawfish, things that are
Your
100 plus,
catfish,
yes,
because
things
we
that are
use the
100
seafood
plus
oven.
dollar meals, they were seen as for the poor, for the people who couldn't afford the beef or the chicken, and so that is a really cool little docu-series. Very informative, very fun, and again, like I said, it'll make you
Cool.
hungry. So High on the Hog, look it up. I don't know if it's still on Netflix, but that's where it first aired, and it is such a good one to learn about the history of food in the Black, and not just Black, but African community as well.
So I've got one for y'all. And it is a cross between this month and next month because next month is Women's History Month. And so
Mhm.
this one is a Black woman history fact. So,
Okay.
did y'all know that a Black woman created the menstrual pad?
No.
So her
Shout
name
out
was
to you, sis.
Mary. I know, right? But her name was Mary Beatrice Davidson Kenner, who had a few patents in her life, and one of them was the sanitary belt with the moisture-proof napkin pocket. And so
Okay.
it was the first menstrual pad. But I also want to highlight something that happened to a lot of black people during that era. So people were coming, companies were coming to her home because she
Talk
had this
about it.
amazing product. And when they came there and realized that she was a black woman, they wouldn't sign it. They wouldn't sign off on
Mhm.
producing the product. And so they waited until her patent expired and their company started making menstrual pads. So she is a black woman who we do not hear about, but to all the ladies in the place with Style and Grace. Yes, that's a hip hop reference there.
If you don't
Shout out to
know,
Biggie.
now you
Now you
know.
know. Shout out to Biggie Smalls. Um, m- I Most women have used one a time or 15 in their life, and most
Mhm.
women have no clue that the reason why it exists is because there was a black face behind it. And I'm not
Mhm.
gonna lie to y'all, this is a Black history fact that I just found out about this year,
Same.
and I'm almost 38 years old because it was never taught to me that a black woman created a menstrual pad. So shout
Never
out to
ever
you,
knew.
good sis, for taking care of the women and making sure we're good. Now, I do believe bras were created by men, and that's the devil, but that's another story for a
Cause why
different
can't we let the boobies free? This is crazy.
Oh
I don't
Lord.
want to be restrained every day. Let me out.
That is so funny. So I got another one for y'all.
Me
That is so
too.
funny, Asia.
Same.
So
Real quick, I want
y'all,
to bounce off of your women's. So
oh,
y'all know
mine
that.
was another woman. So go ahead.
Where you going? Where you going?
So there was an episode, and we talked about things we could not live without, and mine
Yes.
was my
Cell phone.
phone. And so, shout out to Dr. Shirley Jackson, whose work
Come on,
led to
doctor.
various innovations, along with developments in touch tone phones, portable fax machines, and fiber optic cables that help make your long distance phone calls come in crystal clear. And so,
May God's favor
I
cover
want to
her
shout out
entire
to her
lineage.
because,
She did that.
my God, we thank you. Good sis.
We thank you.
Thank
Hallelujah.
you. Because, I remember the days of a house phone and no caller ID. I know those days. Those were dark days.
Those were times.
Not dark days.
Yeah, because
Dark,
there was a
dark
time where
times
you couldn't
indeed.
get on the phone and on the internet. You had to
You
paper,
had to
rock,
pick
scissors,
one.
and
You had
choose.
to pick one.
And so, shout out to this good black woman who said,
Change the
I
game.
got you. She changed the
Love her
game.
for
And
that.
so, I just wanted to shout
Might
her
name a
out.
kid after. No, I'm playing.
No, you're not. You're
I'm
not.
playing. I'm
That's
playing.
I her her name ain't even jazzy enough for you.
It's
You extra. Shirley ain't extra enough for
not.
Oh
you.
She might get the
So,
middle name.
okay. Asia, what was your Black History fact you wanted to tell the people?
I'll let A Renee slide in there. Actually, I want to hear what she had to say.
So I wanted to give a shout out to one of the oldest African American restaurants in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Yes,
Come
yes, yes,
through.
yes, yes,
Come through.
yes.
Already know
Shout
where
it
you going.
out. Shout
Come on through Dookie Chase
Woo,
Restaurant.
woo. Dookie Chase.
They opened their doors in 1941.
Come on, Dookie and
Um, it
Leah
came by
Chase.
way of Edgar Dookie Chase Sr., who was I think they called it like a big band player. He
it.
was a musician, right? And his wife, Miss Leah, could cook. And so she was a cook. He was a
Mm-hmm.
jazz musician. And he was like, come on, baby, do your thing. And so he played, she cooked, and hence Dookie Chase Restaurant.
I love it.
So
Oh, can I give the fun fact about that?
go
Yes.
for it, because
If
this
Please
you
is the
have
do.
second piece of
ever
it.
seen the movie Princess and the Frog,
It's based
Tiana
on,
is based on Leah Chase. And
Yeah.
and I love
you
me
if
some
you
Princess Tiana.
and I girl, you should have seen me when we went to the restaurant. I was like a 5-year-old. because
We all
that
were.
restaurant has been on my bucket list. It's so bad that I looked at A Renee and said, "This your birthday trip, but I'm going to Dookie Chase." Now I don't know if you want to come with me or not, but that's where I'm
But
having lunch there one of the days. And she was
that's
like,
where I'm
"Oh,
going.
oh," and I was like, "I mean, you want to come because I'll make reservations for everybody, but I shall be eating there one of the days." It has always been on my list. Just hearing the history of Edgar and Leah and how many, oh my God, notable African Americans that they fed, how many different people they housed during the civil rights
It's
Yeah.
movement.
crazy.
Like their restaurant was a staple for when like Dr. Martin Luther King came to town. Like they really, if those walls could talk,
Mm,
the black excellence that that room has seen, that restaurant has seen. Oh my God. So when you go,
legendary.
one of the first things you see is a picture that the animator of Tiana drew, and on one side is Leah and the other side is Tiana. And so shout out to them, rest in peace to both of them, but shout out to their daughter who is keeping the business running. She is
She
such an
is.
amazing woman, spent time with us when we went to the
Ah,
restaurant, poured into my mother, had my mama
yes,
in
she did.
tears. Cause I was like, I know that's her daughter. She looked just like her mama. Can y'all tell her to come
Mhm.
over here? I need a picture with her. And I couldn't get one with Miss Leah because Miss Leah's
She
gone
was
on the glory.
amazing.
But I was like, oh, she got to come out that kitchen and talk to me. And she
Right.
did. And I was, oh my God, it was everything. And the food was busting. My God.
Delicious.
Hmm. Chef's
Some of the
kiss.
best. Some of the best
So,
food ever.
yes,
It was.
it
Hmm.
actually was. Hey, Simone, what you got? Hey, y'all know we like our
So,
food.
boy, love the food. Y'all know, if you don't know, you about to find out. I'm a huge Beyonce fan. That's just
We
me.
know.
I'm
Hmm.
that girl. Beyonce is my girl. Been that girl since she was in DC. Okay. Came out the womb loving Beyonce. She just released her own funded hair care line. And so I thought I wanted to bring attention to that because she is not the only black celebrity to do so. There's also Taraji P. Henson, Gabrielle Union, Tia Mowry, Tracy Ellis Ross,
Ross, yep.
uh, and so many more. But the one that we hear about the most, and maybe y'all haven't heard, is about Madam CJ Walker and how she transformed the hair care industry, specifically
Yes.
for Black women.
And the first
So,
African American millionaire. First woman
yes,
millionaire, I
first
do
self
believe.
made millionaire.
Millionaire, yes.
Not just,
Yeah.
oh, she had a couple nickels to rub together, as my daddy would say. She was a
Nah.
millionaire. So shout out to all of the Black owned businesses, all of the entrepreneurs out there trying to establish something and create a lineage and a history. Especially when it comes to hair care and in the beauty industry, because as we know, we have in everything that we face, we are not always treated fairly. But for those that are making strides to make sure we have the same care, the same access, shout out to y'all. And in case y'all wondering, I did order her hair care and I will come back with a review.
Who
Awesome.
shot?
Awesome.
Anybody shot? Did she order the hair care?
No, no,
But to
because
be fair,
normally
I
when she
also
orders hair
shot,
care and she tells me about it, I order it too. Because I'm like, listen, let's get it. Let's
yeah,
go.
I
I
Yeah.
also
am in a
tried Tracy's.
chokehold right now on another company. I did not order Sacred. It's
I
the
did.
Do, and it's also black owned.
Ronson
And
uses
the
that.
Do is
What's it called?
the
The
Do,
do. Spelled
The
DOUX.
D's.
do. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
Ronson
she
uses that.
it's Black woman owned.
Hmm.
They have the best co-wash I have ever used for all this glory. It's called One Love. It smells amazing, but it is like it's a jar, so I can like literally scoop it
Scoop it out.
and on wet hair, put it all over and finger comb. It
Mm.
detangles so great. Oh my God! If the dude would like to sponsor me and all
No,
this
for real.
hair, I'm not against it. Okay, so
For
that's
real.
another one because everybody can't afford
Yeah.
Sacred because it was expensive. I
It's
saw the
not
price
expensive.
point.
It's not expensive. So I
What was
use,
it?
let me just say this. I use Olaplex. I'll just say that
Olaplex
now.
is extremely expensive.
I have been using Olaplex since 2021 when I first cut and colored my hair because that
But they have
saved my
some of the
curls.
best, yes, because Olaplex is great for color hair.
Yes, and you don't need a lot of product, and that's why I don't mind spending the money on Olaplex, because it's like I could literally do a quarter size of shampoo and my whole scalp and my hair is clean. So that's why I spend the money, because it saved my curls. My curls have been colored literally since 2021, and I haven't lost any hair health. So in comparison to what I already use, her price point wasn't that bad. I did get the super fan bundle, which was $265 for 9 products. Y'all can do the math. I'm not going to do it for you. Price point's not that bad. And I was really going to sit on it because I wasn't going to do it. I have seen so many regular TikToker reviews and use of the product that I'm like, all right, now I'm convinced. Because I was going to let Beyonce ride on this one. I went to the concert. I got the perfume. I bought merch. And I was like, all right, she's not going to get me for her hair care. But seeing other Black women actually in real time test the products, not just her promo videos, not just what you saw at her launch, like actual regular people use the product and show their before and afters, I was like, all right, it's worth a try for my hair. But the price point really wasn't out of pocket. I think for let me see, I'll pull it up. Actually, I shouldn't have bought it, but I did, y'all, because I'm gonna try it. But I think for her, her conditioner, not the conditioner, her shampoo, the hydrating shampoo, it is $30. And again, I buy Olaplex, so it's significantly more expensive. That's for an 8-ounce bottle.
That's not horrible.
It's
but
not.
for all
It
this
is on the
hair,
higher end.
it's a higher end. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
not the highest because you buy
No, it's
Olaplex,
not.
but it's also not my
Yes,
one love jar is
correct.
$13.95.
But that's also another reason I looked into it, is because when I was watching this particular TikToker, she was saying it's very the consistency, and apparently it has very detailed instructions on how to use the products. And she said I didn't need a lot. And with curly hair, you'd be like, yeah, whatever. And get what I need. And she really said you really don't, for the amount. And she had, in between you and I,
Yeah.
I'd say me before I cut my hair.
Okay.
Is how much hair she had. So, but yes,
got
that's
some.
just another product.
Okay, I got some facts real quick, and I just kind of want to.
Hit
I'm
us.
gonna just run a couple up on 'em.
Hit us.
So, William Wells Brown novel Clotel or the President's Daughter is the first written by an African American. The first novel written by an African American to be published. It was in 1853. Hattie McDaniel became the first Black person to win an Oscar for her supporting role in Go with the Wind in 1940. Sidney Poitier was the first Black man to win 24 years later for his leading role in Lilies of the Field. 1864, Rebecca Lee Kumpler graduated from the New England Female Medical College as the first Black woman to receive a medical degree in the U.S. Now, this one is one that I really did not know, but I thought it was interesting. Baseball legend Jackie Robinson had an older brother, Matthew Mac Robinson, who broke the Olympic record in 1936 in the 200-meter dash. But
Oh, wow.
y'all ready? He took home silver medal. He took home the silver medal because he finished behind Jesse Owens.
Another Black man.
But y'all, that tells y'all
That
that
is
bloodline,
crazy.
that
It's something
bloodline was
serious.
crazy athletic, right?
Something
So I
serious.
thought that was really interesting. Nat King Cole was the first African American to host a TV show when the Nat King Cole show debuted on NBC in 1956. And y'all, here's one that I thought is absolutely nuts, and I don't know how old this organization is, but this feels crazy. In 1973, Stevie Wonder was the first Black artist to win a Grammy for Album of the Year for Inner Visions. That was 73. Y'all mean to tell
Yep.
me that we created rock and roll, gospel,
Blues,
blues,
jazz,
jazz,
country,
All of
all of
country,
it.
hip
All of
hop,
it.
and
All
y'all
of it.
didn't give
All of it.
nobody an Album of
Pop,
the Year to 73?
soul, neo
Y'all don't have
soul.
music without us. I don't understand. Sorry.
Well,
Oh,
just in case, just
last
in case
one.
nobody told y'all, there wouldn't be a lot of all of it without her.
Listen, we couldn't even get through the streets properly without a black person. We created the stoplight.
Okay.
Listen.
Oh, really quickly,
Okay.
because did y'all know this? Everybody remember the Reading Rainbow?
Yeah, Shaka Khan sings a theme song.
Shaka Khan sings the theme show. Butterfly in the
Reading
sky.
Rainbow.
I can go twice as high. If you listen to that and close your eyes, you see Shaka mouth wide open. You
Yes.
can see it. So
It
those
is.
are
Shout out to
some
her.
of the some really good Black history facts. Anybody else got one before I
You
keep
know
taking
what?
over?
So let me say this.
She got a
So
smile on her face. I know she got some.
coming on back to Natchez, Mississippi, because Natchez got some, they got some movers and some shakers. So I want to tell y'all about a lady, and her name is Artemis Tarleton Morris West. She was the first Black alderwoman.
Okay.
All right,
The
ma'am.
first Black alderwoman. But what I think is so cool, think about this, y'all. Now, y'all know we wasn't allowed to vote, right? Because in the South, you weren't allowed to vote before the 1965 Voting Rights Act.
Mm-hmm.
Sis was allowed to vote for the first time in 1959
How'd she do that? Tell us.
because her husband,
Come on, husband.
Come
her
on,
husband, who
husband.
was a property owner, Mr. George West, who owned some property, and he had paid the poll taxes, not just for himself, but for Miss Artemis, who they called Dear, had taken care of his business, which allowed not only him, but her, because back then only the good kind people, them good kind white folk, was only able to, but because he was a business owner and he paid
I
his
mean,
poll
that's
tax
reality.
and he paid her poll tax, they were able to vote in 1959 before the Voting Right and the Voting Act was implemented and put into place. So Sis was able to
Wow.
be one of the first to be able to vote in 1959, but she was the first Black alderwoman that came up out of Natchez, Mississippi. Come on,
Come on,
Wow.
Black
sis.
women of
And
I
Natchez,
shout out
love
to her
that.
Mississippi.
husband handling business.
So
So
they
he
call
said,
her
don't worry about
affectionately
it.
Dear. Dear had it
I
going
know that's
on.
right.
And shout
Go
out to
ahead,
Dear
dear.
and Dear. Shout out to Dear
And
and
Dear's
Dear's
husband,
husband. Dear's
Mr.
husband
Dear.
said,
Dear,
don't even worry about it. We gonna pay this money. We got it. We out
we
here. We
got
get
it.
it. Y'all gonna let
He
her
They
said,
had
vote.
a
I
couple
got it.
nickels to rub
You
together.
got it.
They got the nickels. Speaking of nickels, I have a question for y'all.
What's
Do y'all
poppin'?
know who Azzy Taylor Morton is? Have you ever heard her name? Azzy
Mm-mm.
Azzy
Taylor Morton.
Taylor. No.
Uh-uh.
Okay.
But go ahead and tell us about her.
Azzy Taylor Morton is the first African American woman to have her signature on the Federal Reserve note. She was the 36th treasurer of the United States of America.
Come on.
So this the
Wow.
treasurer of the United States of America has to sign, and their signature goes on whatever money is printed
Mm-hmm.
during their tenure.
Correct.
Correct.
Because she was the treasurer, she is the only Black person to have their signature on
Wow.
US money. Y'all,
Come on,
that was
signature.
1977. I bet y'all, if we look around some of these elders' houses, we can find some money from those years and see that Black
Yes,
woman signature. So,
I'm sure.
y'all, bonnet babes, bonnet bros, homeboys, homegirls, our
Everybody
people,
everywhere.
everybody, start looking to see if y'all got some money and let us know down in the comments, because I think we forget how much stuff goes on our dollar
Yes.
bills and our
Mm-hmm.
currency, but
Yeah.
there's history there. And so
Absolutely.
we don't really deal with a lot of cash. And some money, goes back and it gets destroyed as it gets
Right.
raggedy.
Reprinted and all that.
Yes,
Go to your
but
grandma's house,
g-
and she got that handkerchief. They got that plastic sandwich bag from 1944.
in the Crown Royal bag, because some of y'all been collecting money in that purple bag. Jesus loves you anyway. We don't know what happened to the bottle. We just know y'all got the bag.
It don't
That
matter.
money that's in the boot in the back of the closet to the right. three boots over,
Oh
next
Lord.
to her gun, and she know how much is in there. I'm not saying that's what my grandmama do. She ain't got no Crown Royal bag, but some of y'all do. I don't think Helen even know what Crown Royal is. Praise God.
She
Uh,
don't.
but some of y'all do. We need to find this woman's signature because that, and
Yes.
don't give it back to the bank. Show your
Hold
children if
on
you
to
find my
that.
closet, hold on to it because that is the only one, and we might never have another one.
Speaking of Crown Royal, you said
That's
that, but I
crazy.
just wanted to shout out
Are you
Uncle
Uncle Nearest?
Nearest.
Heck yeah. Y'all
Uncle
not some
Nearest?
drinkers, but I am, and Uncle Nearest is some fire whiskey. Let me tell you, it go down smooth.
Go down smooth.
When I drink Uncle Nearest, I imagine being 72 years old on my front porch with a nice breeze in a June Saturday with my
I
dress
love it.
on and just rocking. That is what
Especially
You
if
Uncle
got
you
your
have
Nearest
a
legs
makes me.
crossed. You got your legs crossed.
Do I?
at the knee over
Anthony.
like that.
Anthony. The
And
grandchildren
she's
playing in the front yard.
I
I'm
sipping.
love it.
that
She's
it gives
sipping.
me listen, either I'm drinking it straight in my lemonade or in my tea. That's where it is.
Come
And
on.
that is what it gives me.
Okay. The
There it
fact that she
is.
has
It's
a
a
whole
good,
scenario that tell you
let me
that
tell
liquor
you,
smooth.
it's good. It's a
It's
good little
good.
whiskey.
Hmm.
Praise God for the uncle of nearest. Okay. And all of the black inventors and creators who
Yeah, there
went
seems to be a lot
so
of them.
undiscovered and what's the word I want to say? Unappreciated and just used up by the people. I ain't gonna say which people, but y'all know the people. Them people. Them people.
I love this.
Oh, there have been other black people who have appeared on U.S. currency. And that was Blanche K. Bruce, Judson W. Lyons, William T. Verney, and James C. Napier. I just
If
want
y'all
to
see
shout
them
them out
names, collect.
as well. Registers of the Treasury is what they were, and that was a long, long time ago. But shout out to yeah.
Them.
The woman, Azzie Taylor Morton, is the first African American woman to have her. So there goes a
That's
combo
awesome.
between Black history and women's history.
Yeah.
Shout out
Love
from
that.
one Black
Love
woman to
that.
another. Okay, because I don't want us to get too long, and then we gotta go. So I need to shout this out really, really quickly because y'all listen.
Here she go. You want to hear it?
Um,
Here it go.
Shout out to the amazing women and men of the Divine Nine, which are the fraternities and sororities within the Divine Nine: Alpha Phi Alpha, Kappa Alpha Psi Omega Psi Phi, Zeta Phi Beta, Phi Beta Sigma, Sigma Gamma Rho, Iota Phi Theta. Did I get everybody?
Delta Sigma Theta.
Delta Sigma Theta. Oh, that was not no shade either. My God, I was
It's
over
gonna
here
come
trying to
off in
count.
shade. I need you
It
to understand.
is.
When
Shout
you say
out
what
to
you
hold
gotta
on,
say, it's
wait.
about to be shade.
It's not. I actually was over here trying to
One
count
of her sisters is a Delta.
because I just want to say this out loud. Some of the people I love the most happen to wear crimson and cream. See, I'm not even gonna be shady and say red and white. They happen to wear crimson and cream.
She said
Um,
red and white.
they use that in their chants. Don't do that. They got a whole chant that says red and white. Like they use it, we use it, whatever. So no shade to the Deltas. Love y'all. Love the work that we as a collective of the Divine Nine do. But ain't none of that my story. My story is that I am a lady of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, the oldest, the first Black Greek sorority founded on January 15th, 1908 on the campus of Howard University Minor Hall. Shout out to the beautiful 20 pearls that got us all together. And shout out specifically to the Gamma Nu chapter at Claflin University. Spring 06 to be specific. Then my girls, 21 degrees of altitude. So real quick, had to do it. But shout out to the Divine Nine everywhere because we literally are game changers. Most of the people
Mm-hmm.
you know on a lot of these lists and a lot of the work that was done were a part of
We're
these
in.
organizations.
Yep.
I can shout out Martin, who was an alpha, but he
Mhm.
was partnered with a woman of AKA. So you got
Mhm.
him. So Martin and Coretta. Um, Betty Shabazz was a Delta. Like when I tell y'all we lead everywhere,
Mhm.
we lead everywhere. But I'm probably your favorite, whatever's favorite, AKA, and that's just what it is. Like it or love it, it's just what it is. Okay? Okay. So shout out to us and all of the things that we do to make society better and the ways in which we show up. But AKA on mine all day, every day. That's what it is. Don't let these
And
red nails fool you. Please
I
don't.
just
There's
want
a
to
pink one.
throw out there that I know that y'all miss us for all the good food that we used to put out in the
Come on now.
Kansas City, Missouri community.
Say
That's
it.
hollering out that Madry's dash of flavor because
Yes,
we
ma'am.
are and
Hallelujah.
we were the best of the best on the
Mhm.
soul food tip. Y'all know y'all still get
Mhm.
that food because y'all call me for y'all catering needs, and I do
And you
thank
call my
y'all for
grandma who
keeping me in
retired,
business.
retired.
And she still be
Okay.
trying to cook for the people.
She's still
Can't
out
help
here
it. She
doing
can't help
people's
it. It's in her
Thanksgivings.
blood.
She's still doing Thanksgiving and
It's
Christmas.
in her
And hear me
blood.
clearly for the Kansas City family who's like, oh, but I like this soul food restaurant. I like this.
We
We are
didn't
your
ask.
favorite soul food restaurant's favorite soul food restaurant.
We also
The
did not
reason
ask.
why, no, but the reason why they have a soul food restaurant is because they sat down with Madry's. Hear me clearly.
Amen.
They were our
Amen.
customers before they had
Amen.
restaurants.
That's
So,
right.
yes, they are still going. Kudos to them. They ain't consistent. I'm not even calling out who they are. They're really inconsistent, but y'all still support them. So praise God. Shout out to them. But just know that the reason why they exist is because they set foot in Madry's. I said what I said.
And
And we
that's
meant
the
Ain't
what we
truth.
said.
ain't nobody putting their hand on them rolls, that peach cobbler, that fried chicken. You can't touch it. You can't touch it.
You
We are
know
your
what?
favorite soul
What?
food.
I
Shout
figured
Listen,
it
out.
out. I figured it
Oh,
out. The reason I don't like peach cobbler no more is because it's not Madry's. I haven't had peach cobbler since I left Missouri.
well, you should talk to
Can't
your
stand it.
auntie
Don't
because
want to
she
touch
make.
it.
You should
It's
talk
because
to
it's
your
not
auntie.
Madry's.
How
That's what
you
it
gon'
is.
how you gonna not eat peach cobbler when you got a Madry in your
I
life? I don't
haven't be
understand.
now. How often do I really see y'all?
Well,
And
enough to get you some
how
greens.
often does she really be
your,
cooking? No, because she was.
your
You
auntie
still ain't
gonna
send me
make
my greens.
sure. Your auntie gonna make sure. Now, don't
Now,
play.
why'd you have to open up
I
a new wound? I had healed. I had moved on. Now I'm mad because I sure
your
could get greens when you
auntie,
came.
your auntie gonna make sure you get you a peach cobbler, and I send you some greens. How about
Praise
that?
God! Look at what I
You
did
need to
for
double
you.
up on my greens to make up for the years you missed.
I ain't missed that many years
You
now,
missed
and I
last year.
sent you home. I sent you home with
You
some
missed last
greens.
year.
Okay, so y'all, we like our food. Oh, shout out because we from the city, and there
You're
are two African American barbecue restaurants
oh,
that are historic, and I know that y'all got some others that have moved on or moved in, and
we
y'all
didn't
like
ask.
them. Y'all, I don't understand it.
We
I've
didn't
had
ask.
them. I'm not a
Look, I
fan.
wasn't frozen. I was making a face.
Uh, but
We didn't ask.
shout out to. There's actually a couple. You got Arthur Bryant's.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Elsie's. Uh, Tim still got his restaurant.
I think so. Big
I can't think
T's.
of Big T's. They beans is bussing. Um, but it's gonna always be a hi, may I help you? Anytime I come to the city. So shout out to Gates Barbecue. Y'all, if you are in the city, if y'all going to visit my
Yum.
city, please go get yelled at and go get you
Okay.
a slab, a short end, a
Mm-hmm.
long
A
end. You can get some beef.
nooner.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Get you a
you can
Mm-hmm.
turkey
get some
nooner.
hand.
Just get you
You
one of
can get
everything.
Mixed
I'm
plate.
you can get you can get you a
Get you one
regular
of everything
platter and just go ahead and be fat that.
and roll
Don't
out.
put the sauce on the side though, because they be heavy handed unless you like a lot of sauce. I don't
If
like
you a
no
And make
sauce
saucy
on
sure
my
you
kind of
chicken.
get
kid
some.
like
Make
me,
sure you get you some good socks to put on.
Cause
some
your feet gonna
compression
swell,
socks.
so find you some compression socks. But the food is worth it.
But
I
Amazing.
it's worth every bit
chef's
of
kiss
that weight, every bit of
every
that getting yelled at,
bit of it.
every bit of that everything. Everything that comes
My
with Gates
my
is
favorite
absolutely
part
worth
is
it.
going home and sliding on the greasy floors and getting yelled at, and then I
It's
yell my
not a good
order
Gates
back.
if the flows ain't greasy.
And let me say this real
It's like
quick,
a clean
real
Waffle
fast,
House. Why would I want to
while
eat there?
we are
I
shouting
need that
out
Waffle
African
House to put in some
American,
time.
While we're shouting out African American business, I do want to shout out the Cherry Company. If you need any kind of t-shirts or anything like that, Thayla Cherry is absolutely amazing. She is a longtime friend. They
Hey,
have their
if you're in the city and you want a shirt and you don't need a bunch of shirts, but you want a shirt, you can find her product in Made in Kansas City. They have a Lee Summit location. They have a location on the plaza
she's not in the Lee Summit location, but she is in the
anymore.
plaza and she's in Kansas City, downtown Kansas City. Yes.
Also, here's another fun fact. If you're flying in to
She's in the
Kansas
airport.
City, she is in the airport stores. Look
Nice,
for
nice, nice.
you can look for the tag and it literally says Cherry Co. It's red with
I
white
love that we are
letters.
shouting out Black businesses because, hey, there's Micah's Boutique because she keeps me ready. That's my girl,
Listen, I
Drea
was about to list
Nicole.
out some home team businesses. Okay, you need a wedding planner.
Come
There's
on
London
with
London
it.
Events. If you need a graphic designer, there's RNSN Designs. Okay, if you need a
That's it.
therapist, in the Houston area, you can look for Dr. Khadijah Moon. Listen, if you need a personal trainer, there is Kiki Bazil in Houston, Texas. Like, home team finna get shouted out. I mean, what we doing?
If you need a public speaker, holla at your girl. I am launching my public speaking business. That is something
Come
that we
on.
are working on. So
Love
just
it.
understand that we've
Caterer
got talent.
extraordinaire.
Yes, if you
You
need a
got it full
caterer,
circle.
check out A
Yes,
Renee.
Hey,
Um,
Renee's.
we've got people. So
and
a
dude,
Yes, we
lot of
do.
black excellence flowing all through. Black excellence. Oh my God, please put your shirt down.
you got your chi chis in the screen. See,
It's your
if we didn't have
boobs
to
because
wear
you're doing
bras,
this.
we could be free.
No,
We
oh my
didn't.
gosh. I don't understand how this took a turn, but it did. So we
Ooh,
are
quick shout out. Sorry, quick shout out to my wedding photographer because they just reposted a free sesh that they did with us prior to the wedding. Bro Moments in Houston, Texas. Shout out to them. They did amazing. Our photos turned out amazing. Our wedding video was phenomenal. It looked
It
like
was
a real
gorgeous.
film. So shout out to Bro Moments. They are amazing. Love y'all. Can't
I'm
wait to do
so
our
proud of
next
you for
session.
not gatekeeping.
she said I'm not getting married again. They can use the service.
Y'all can have them for
Did not
y'all's wit. I didn't
she
want to
did
do
not
it,
she
but
didn't shout out her nail tech at all. Hey, shout out speaking of photographers. I heard all your shout outs and I caught you. Shout outs for photographers. Shout out to Stacy Artist.
Stacy
Stacy
Artist,
Artist has been
yes.
taking our pictures since he took my high school graduation, my first and second college graduation, my engagement, my
All the
marriage,
family
my
pictures.
my pregnancy for Chloe, my pregnancy for Ava. Stacey Artist he's the family photographer, and
He is.
so shout out to Stacey Artist. I ain't gonna gatekeep, but if I need to book him and y'all on the books, we gonna box. Okay, so just know y'all just need to book him while I'm not at the house.
listen, I love my nail tech
Okay.
and she knows that I love her, but I'm not sharing.
Shout out to Asia's nail tech, whoever
Shout
she
out to
is.
that girl. Love you so much. This is for
Does
you,
she
sweetheart.
exist?
This, this is
She
for
did.
you.
Listen, when y'all
She
be seeing these
exists.
fresh sets, y'all know she exists. That girl alive and well.
She's a real girl. She's not Pinocchio.
Based
She's
out
a
of
real
Houston,
girl.
Texas. I will one day tell y'all the name of her business so you can book with her employees, but you can't book
Okay,
with my nail
girl.
tech. So
You can't just
love
give the name.
y'all.
You gonna tell the name of the business, but not tell them. You should shout out the other
Cause
employees, and that
shout
way
out
they know.
to Nayeli. Shout out to listen, that's the first one that came to my head because I don't really want to list everybody because then I'm gonna accidentally say her name and I'm gonna be mad at myself. So shout out to the employees that work for my nail tech that keep the shop popping with all y'all's nails. They're fired too. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey Renee, get a good
Well,
people
listen,
a
this has
good
been
message.
a absolutely amazing episode. Black excellence at its finest.
Yes.
Listen, we have learned some amazing things. I'm excited about this episode. Drink water. Um, take care of your health. Eat better. If you didn't eat good this week, I didn't eat good this week. I'm gonna do better though. So drink water, eat better, eat good, exercise, take care of your mental, your spiritual. That's it for me. And don't forget, call me for your catering needs.
Okay, go ahead and shout yourself back out. Really quickly before I go into my message, shout out to President Barack Obama. Shout out to our current VP, Kamala Harris, as they are the first that in modern day times
Absolutely.
to hold those positions, and they are the reminder that it is possible for a lot of generations to come. We did not mention them. Also, the good sis Michelle Obama, who first black woman
Absolutely.
that said,
First lady.
as the first lady of our country. And so, sorry, y'all. Um, we've got a black woman chief justice in the Supreme Court, and I'm going that Judge Kataji, right? I think that's how you say her name. I don't want to forget about them because the fun facts were flowing, but I've got to give props where props are due. And so shout out to them as well. Last but not least, shout out to all the allies who are out here trying to make sure that our voices are more heard now than ever before. This work of diversity, equity, inclusion includes everybody. It is not to exclude anybody. It is to include everybody and make sure everybody has a seat and a space at the table. So, shout out to those who understand how to sit at the table and then scoot over. I
Yeah.
normally tell y'all to mind your business, but I'm not, because this work is everybody's business. And so I need y'all to mind everybody else's business as far as getting us and getting others to the table so that the voices are heard a little harder and a little louder. The only way this work moves forward is when everybody moves forward in the right direction together. And so if nobody has ever told you thank you for the way in which you show up for your with your allyship, thank you for that. To my black people and all the black excellence, whatever you're doing to help push us as a community forward, to push your family forward, to get us out of poverty, to get into generational health and generational wealth, and to really be better in this generation than we've ever been before. We salute you. Shout out to you. Um, and if you just mean and hateful, now I'm gonna tell y'all, mind your business. Um, and in the words of my girl
Or
Tabitha
find a
Brown, if you don't,
therapist.
that's still your business. That's your
Find a
business.
therapist.
I was gonna say something from Tabitha Brown, a Tabitha Brown quote, and I forgot it as soon as you said find a therapist. But y'all take care of yourself, love on one another, and that's all I got. Asia Simone, what you got to tell to the people?
So I got hated on by this system, but it has been another episode of Barefaced and Bonnets.
Mhm.
It was fun talking some black facts, chit chatting with my family here about black excellence that has happened, that is happening, and that has yet to happen. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a like, click that thumbs up button. Make sure you follow us on all of our social medias to get some clips, get some behind the scenes footage. Make sure, like she said in the very beginning, you are subscribed and you got that notification bell clicked so you don't miss out on an episode. And until next time, I ain't got nothing to say but stay black.